and girls, Gallifrey497 here. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be reviewing the newly animated release of Shada, the lost Tom Baker story, now restored with new animation and newly filmed footage with the original cast. And today I'm going to be reviewing the story, the animation, and also going to be an overlook of the limited edition release of the Steelbook, which I got for Christmas. I really wanted to review this story anyway, but today is Tom Baker's 84th birthday, so happy birthday to the legend that is Tom Baker. So without further ado, cue titles. Shada.
When I was on the river, I heard a strange babble of inhuman voices.
You brought a book from Gallifrey to Cambridge.
If Skagler has the TARDIS and the book, he can get to Shada.
Shada?
Do not fight, or you will die.
Doctor, your mind shall be mine.
I'm not mad about your tailor.
Kill them.
Digress, stop!
What have you done?
Doctor!
I'm in for a very, very rough ride. Run, Shada! Let the universe prepare itself.
So before I get into the story itself, I'm going to give an overview of the Steelbook. As you can see, this is new artwork. I remember when I saw the promotional images for the first time, and I was a bit put off by it, but in hand, it is better. So obviously, it's got Tom Baker, Skagler, and Kane on the front. On the back, obviously this is like a slipcase thing as well. But say it tells you all the information, what's on each disc, and obviously a nice little painting of the Doctor and Leela on the Cambridge waters. Taking the slipcase off, as you can see, it's got Leela and the prison convicts from the Shada prison. You get this really nice Shada production notes book, which tells you about how they recreated some of the scenes for the story, so the animation and sort of recording the voices with the original cast, which is really insightful. And also they sort of show how they did model work as well, with Mike Tucker's team, who works on the new series and the late classic series as well. And obviously there, as you see, they obviously had the TARDIS prop there. So yeah, no, it's a really nice little book with some nice little anecdotes. So I'm really pleased I picked up the Blu-ray Steelbook edition of Shada. I probably will try and get the other version, so maybe the Blu-ray and the DVD version, just because I'm a completionist. And also it goes nicely with my classic Who collection of DVDs, and obviously fits in to that format as well. Yeah, I'm really pleased I've got this limited edition version of the story. So following the back of the Steelbook, I'm going to read out the synopsis for the story. Chris Parsons is happily endorsed in studying postgraduate physics at Cambridge, when one day he finds an old book sitting at a dusty shelf in an ageing professor's library. Written in a language nobody can read and made of paper that can be torn, this is no ordinary book, and when it enters his life, everything changes for young Chris Parsons. Soon finding himself aboard an invisible spaceship chased by monsters made of molten rock, aboard an alien prison on a distant planet and attacked by a horde of mind-controlled zombies, Chris also meets a strange man with a long scarf and who claims he can travel through time and space in a police box. It's going to be a busy day for Chris Parsons. So this story was written by Douglas Adams. As I say, it's been adapted into books and obviously many different formats, including 1992 VHS recreation and also the 2003 Shada release with Paul McGann and Lila Ward. This is really, really wacky, but this is sort of normal for Douglas Adams. But if you don't know Douglas Adams' like writing style, this is him at his sort of peak really, and he's just giving every sort of wacky bit of humour and alien theories, etc. I think what surprised me the most was a comedy. I've seen the story through the 1992 VHS release. I'm yet to watch the 2003 web creation with Paul McGann, which we're going to watch after I film this. It was one of those things that really stuck out to me, how funny this story was. It pretty much is a Tom Baker show at this point as well. So, and Douglas Adams just really knows how Tom Baker works and really understands his Doctor, and obviously all the other cast, how the show works. So I think this would have been a really satisfying ending story for the season finale of season 17. Obviously, with the class series, you never had sort of season finales, etc. But I think as a final story, this would have been really, really nice. It's interesting to think, actually, would this story be as memorable as it is if it wasn't lost? I'd say yes and no. I think it definitely does have a magic and uniqueness about it, I think, with the sort of setting of Cambridge and also the script as well. It would be interesting to see a reality where this was already filmed and seeing how much it stood out. The story Shada is that sort of element in the story is quite a mystery anyway, so it's quite interesting seeing it obviously in real life be an actual mystery as well. Tom Baker and Lala Ward, the two leads, are really comfortable in their roles by now. Obviously they've had a whole season to progress their characters and acting, and their chemistry is really perfection really. They bounce with each other so well. It also helps out that obviously later on they also got married in real life as well, so they really did have good chemistry on and off screen. The villain Skagra was quite funny. The scenes that were filmed obviously is quite campy, sort of quite elegant and all. But I say you did understand his intention by the end of the story, but I felt the animation did sort of try and do a job of making him seem more a bit villainous as opposed to like when he was filmed back in the 70s. I really enjoyed the side characters of Claire and Chris. You sort of get introduced to Claire through Chris. It's just great to see the Doctor have an alternative companion for the story with Chris. They got like a house on fire. It's quite funny seeing the comedy of them too. And Claire, obviously, she's plays an important part of the story later on. Both really worked well in the story, but also was there for a reason, so didn't feel like there's sort of extra baggage. Obviously, the story is set in the University of Cambridge, which I think could have been a really boring setting. However, the characters sort of splintered around the university, what sort of really brings it to life, as opposed to sort of like a sort of dull university set. So Professor Chronotis, who's always asking for tea, and obviously introduces us to the Book of Shada. Wilkin, who's just a really strange character. Initially you think, oh, could he be a Time Lord as well? Imagine if the whole of University Cambridge, all their professors are just, you know, Time Lords. Also the Doctor in Series 10, he was a university lecturer as well. But yeah, Wilkin was just a really odd character, I don't know. And obviously the policeman as well, he brings obviously some humour as well. So yeah, the characters really bring this university to life. I like how the story added to like the mythos of the Time Lords, obviously with the Shada prison. It's quite an interesting concept. It's quite harsh of the Time Lords. And Skagra sort of says how harsh it is, and you sort of think, well, yeah, it is pretty harsh what the Time Lords have done to these prisoners and convicts. So it adds nicely to sort of the mystery of what's going on. I do really love this story. It's not one of my favourites, but I really do enjoy it. I think it could have worked better as a 4-parter possibly. And obviously with the class series you had to sort of fit a certain criteria. If this story was even more trimmed down, I think it could be an even better story than what it is. So now on to the animation and recreation parts of this episode. So it's mainly recreated through animation, which obviously last year we saw a release of Power of the Darks, which was completely animation. And I don't know if it's because there's less animation to do, but I felt this was definitely an improvement from last year's Power of the Daleks. They've obviously gone through that process, found out what works and what doesn't, and this obviously applied again. Still not perfect, you know, but it does work for the story's benefit, so it'll be interesting if they do another release next year. See how they've improved again. I like the designs of the aliens. I don't know if there was any sort of like Criterion script Douglas Adams put about the aliens, but I think it was just free reign for the animators to make all these different alien characters, and they all are really unique characters. So if you think, what's that race? I'd like to explore who they are. So there are live action sequences recreated as well. On the one hand, you've got the brilliant work of Mike Tucker and his team doing the spaceships and the TARDIS sort of in space, all those model shots, and also you have that amazing surprise scene at the end with Tom Baker in his Dr. Gecko as he is now, ending off the story, which I really wish wasn't spoiled. I know obviously it was used to like promote the release of the story, but we're really nice to just watching and go, oh my god. So that was a shame, but I appreciate it, and it's just more Tom Baker as a Doctor, so that was great. But on the other hand, you've got the recreated scenes of K9 and the Krark. There's certain shots where you just have lower down shots of K9 and the Krark's like feet, and it's just a bit off-putting really. I know obviously they've tried their best obviously with the budget they've been given, but those elements just really tell the story for some reason. Overall, this is a really fun and unique Doctor Who story restored by the great animation and model work team. This is definitely a project which obviously has been getting off the ground for a while. There have been so many recreations of the story, but I feel that now we have a definitive version. Many elements sort of trying to complete the story, and this definitely is a labour of love from Doctor Who fans that have obviously worked on it, you know, and it's just great to have the story completed. I don't think it's the best story ever, personally to me. Obviously it's obviously got this special thing around obviously being a missing story, not complete. However, now seeing it complete and watching the full story, I think it's a really great fun ride, but I don't think it sort of lives up to like the true hype. However, it's just great to see Tom Baker and Lala Ward and K9, that fantastic dynamic back on screen and really at the sort of height of their power at that point. And it's a really nice, fun, exciting closing story of the season with the unique twist of Douglas Adams' writing. Now it's time to see what you think about the new Shada release and the Steelbook. First up, we have K9 recaps, and they say, controversial, it drags. Clearly there was a desire to use every scrap of available live footage, and so that means that the first hour is mainly people bicycling, walking, driving and boating. The second half perks up a bit, but Shada could have been great with a Merciless edit. As I mentioned, I would have liked to see it as a 4-part story, so it would have been nice, as K9 recap says, to see a more sort of brutal edit of it and making it more sort of snappy and fast paced. And as they say, obviously they're using every sort of bit of footage they've got, so which is fine. Yeah, maybe they could do a version later on down the line where it's more cut down, but I doubt they will. But the version we've got now is brilliant. The Gallifreyan Whovian says, I got to see this with a few peeps at the BFI and we were all absolutely loved the story. The animation is a little jarring here and there, but otherwise it's brilliant and the story is phenomenal. As for the Steelbook, Disc 3's arts could have been better, but it is gorgeous. I'm really pleased I picked up the Steelbook as well. And obviously it's great too, went to the BFI screening with Adam Who and Geek's Handbag and all those great people. I would love to have gone, it did look a great time, but I'm pleased I got to see the story eventually with a Steelbook. Isaac Whitaker Dakin says, the animation blends pretty well with the new footage, the voice acting is good, it's easier to follow in the VHS version, great hearing Tom again, and the music is a wonderful tribute to Dudley Simpson. My only complaint is I wish it was an episodic form than a feature length. Yeah, I was quite surprised by that, actually, it being just like a whole omnibus thing, not sort of split into like a sort of 6-part format. It's really nice to see in the story that it was dedicated to Dudley Simpson, obviously recently passed away, obviously doing music for pretty much the whole of the 70s, making amazing pieces of music for the 70s, really experimental, etc. So it was nice the story was dedicated to him. Richard Orr says, I love the artwork on the Steelbook. I'm also impressed with how the story has been finished. I was worried about the animation when dry, which it does on first view, but as the story goes on, you almost forget it's going in between live and animation. That ending too, what a beauty. It's such a shame that that was spoiled, like to sort of publicise the release. But yeah, what a, just wow, just Tom Baker when he sort of gets up and it fits so well. How he sort of explains how sort of seeing him in 200 years time and how completely different it would be, and then just his laugh at the end, yeah, it's just really unique, amazing scene which they could have done animation, but I'm really pleased he got Tom Baker to do it. And finally, Oliver Linklater says, haven't watched it all yet, but so far it's really good. I hopefully enjoy the rest of the story, Oliver. As always, guys and girls, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everybody who submitted their thoughts and opinions on the Shada Steelbook and story on the Twitter, Facebook and Instagram pages. So follow those pages and keep heads out, because I do sort of post when I'm doing reviews and when I want opinions for videos. If you want to be featured in one of these videos. So what are your thoughts on Shada, on the Steelbook and the release itself and the story? Let me know in the comment section below. Love to continue the discussion down in the comment section below. So as always, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed my review. Please comment, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, like Gallifreyan Facebook page, Instagram, Google+, links to all that stuff in the description below. And I'm going to go off and watch the 2003 Shada edition with Paul McGann, which will be very exciting. So as always, guys and girls, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!